to 20 degrees. And we were spending, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks on this rocking set. And then the crew actually had to eat the seasick pills in order to not get seasick themselves from the shooting. So that was one part of the whole shooting. I mean, the idea of building the whole set on this gimbal was also to that we could make the whole furniture slide around, and people could slide around, and so on. And it's really, really a great work of set designer Josefin Åsberg. So I want to, really pay respect to her work when she did this, because the details were so nicely done. And,
we spoke a little bit about this, but how much improvisation do you actually do when the camera starts rolling?
I don't know, you can answer this, I think. I like to do it like this. You write a script, and then you try it out on set in order to figure out, did I write the script in the right way or not? And I love what actors are saying, I don't like this line, why should I say this, it doesn't feel right. And that you add something to the script, or add something with your ideas and so on. So, in the beginning of a shooting day, we always use a lot of improvisation. But it's very important to know where you're coming from and where you're going. So only improvisation never turns out to create a good scene. You have to know which direction you're moving in. And then we repeat over and over again. And what I often like to do is, in the end of the day, when we have just tired ourselves out, is that I say, okay, everybody, 5 takes left. And now it starts a countdown. That is like, okay, let's really like push it now and get the best takes now in the end. 4 takes left, 3 takes left. And the intensity of the scene very often comes in the last takes. And in the end, you remember that we gathered the whole crew around the camera, so they should sit and watch you when you did the last 3 takes. And for the last take, we had a gong, you know, like, oh. And then it was action. And then we started to play scene. And it's a way of trying to combine improvisation to figure out how the scene should be made, and sculpturing, and then in the end, like, okay, now we're playing an important football game together, let's win it. And to create something that is stepping up above what we can expect. And sometimes when it happens, then it's like, wow, this is fantastic. Yeah.
Well, given that process of filming, Harrison, Dolly, how did you get into your characters? How did you figure out who Abigail was? How did you figure out who Carl was in filming?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this particular story and character lends itself to just feeling open each day, you know. And I feel like there was early discussions with Ruben and I that ended up being productive in a way that we let go of any sort of, you know, what is this, who is this person, what is this character, or like when actors say, oh, I would never do that, or it's like, you know, people do uncharacteristic things all the time and act out of part. So allowing the scenes to be a structure for your character is a way more free experience and kind of puts the control in Ruben's hands, really, and I love that personally, because you don't have to, you know, get neurotic about things or traits or whatever. You just sort of be present and let the scene take the character, I suppose.
Trust the material, trust the script, because reading the script by itself, I really felt that we were doing something important. And even after I got the part, we did improvisation in your office in Gothenburg. So he played you, he played Carl, and of course I was Abigail. So we did a lot of improvisation. So that was part of me discovering Abigail too, and how he wanted me to play her, or how he saw her, which really helped me a lot, because you know, I mean, like Harry said, you don't really go into a project knowing 100% how you're going to play a part, but the collaboration with the director helps, and that day we spent together helped me a lot in finding how I was going to play Abigail.
I think the one thing that was really fun to working together was that, I mean, both of your characters are going from one place to completely another place. And in order to trust that journey, it's not so much about understanding the character, but understanding the setup of the situation. So all of a sudden, Abigail has power. What do you do when you are in that power position, when a young man starts flirting with you? Like, okay, you don't live that long, you know? Yeah, maybe. So, and to try to find the human aspects of what these characters are dealing with. And if you manage to explain the setup in a way that you can understand it, you say, I can relate to that is possible. Then that's a good way of directing, I feel, often. And sometimes I don't understand really, but then you are helping me, and no, but there's a possibility for me to do it because if this is the background or this is the setup. So it's always about understanding the possibilities of the setup of the situation. And for me, directing there's a difference between how to say, the character. I'm not so interested in the character. I'm interested in human being dealing with different kind of setups. I love sociology, and the reason that I love sociology is that sociology gives us a knowledge about our behavior without pointing fingers on the individual, not putting blame on the individual. I don't know if you remember the classic sociological experiments like the Solomon Asch conformity test, or the one when there is a person giving electrical shocks to another person sitting in a booth, and there's authority telling them to give the electrical shocks. What is so great about sociology is that it's painting up a setup. And we can identify the setup, and we could say, actually, I would be able to do the same thing. And for me, this approach is a way of understanding my own behavior, and I don't have to put fingers on other people and say you are bad and you are good. It's rather more like investigating ourselves in a curious way.
When you say explaining your own behavior, was there anything in your real life that inspired or sparked Triangle of Sadness? I'm thinking about the scene where they're discussing the check or the bill, but even up to the vomiting and other things.
It's completely based on when I met my wife.
Which scene?
The big scene. Okay. I feel less and less shame in my life. The older I get, I feel okay. I can handle awkward situations. But when it came to that big situation, and as a man, expectations of me to pay, and I wanted to impress her, and but I felt at the same time, come on, I like you too much. I can't take this role of being a sugar daddy. I have to grab the bull by the horn because I want to be equal, like the actual lines that Harris is saying. I said to her, and
so who ended up paying?
I ended up paying. And we should create a hashtag that is like I got billed, because women are so, they are